All right. Welcome, everyone. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Sam Oldenburg. I'm the Vice President of Membership for CMBAM. Our president, Julie Salter, has been on some leave helping with some family medical issues. So I'll be running the meeting, stepping up a little bit in her place. But we're going to start with Chris, our Secretary Treasurer, doing a roll call attendance of who's here.
First, we need to call for the motion to have the meeting begin.
Oh,
I would like to motion to have the meeting begin.
I second the motion.
They're in.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
do we need to vote then on the motion?
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm not really Robert's rulesy these days. Alan, what do we got to do? I can't remember.
Robert rules adjacent is how I like to live my life generally. I don't think we need to do a whole vote on that. I think we can just roll it.
I like Bob's
got-
rules.
There, Bob. Yeah, Bob. That's very real.
Sounds good. Okay, so if your school is here, or at least one member from your school or university is here, please let me know if you're on the call. Appalachian State, I already know you're here. Sorry, I didn't get to have you say yes. Auburn, Ball State, Baylor University, Cal Poly Pomona, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, California State Fullerton. I have California State University Long Beach,
Here.
Colorado State, California State University Fresno, De Anza College, Gonzaga University, Iowa State, Ithaca College, James Madison University, John Carroll University, Kansas State University, Kent State University, Louisiana State University, Missouri State University, NC State University.
Here.
You're here. Northern Illinois University, Northwest Missouri State University, Oregon State University, Southern Illinois University Edwardsville, Texas Tech, University of Arizona, University of Texas at Austin, University of Alabama, University of Hawaii, Manoa, University of Michigan, University of Minnesota, University of Nebraska Lincoln. I'm not letting you guys respond because I already know you're here. University of North Carolina at Charlotte,
Here.
University of Oklahoma, University of Pennsylvania,
Here.
University of Pittsburgh, University of Texas at Arlington, University of Utah, Virginia Commonwealth University,
Hi.
Weber State University,
Present.
West Virginia, and Western Kentucky. We made quorum.
Oregon?
Yep, I gotcha. I didn't let you respond because I saw you.
Oh, good.
So we're good.
And then, Chris, I think we need to vote on approval of the last year's business meeting minutes.
Yeah, we need a motion.
I will motion that we approve last year's minutes.
Second.
Second, third, fourth.
Can we do the thumbs up react if you are voting in favor of approving those minutes.
Thank you.
Does anybody in Nebraska vote for approving the minutes?
I approve.
Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I think that makes it unanimous.
You were too slow.
I think
We
Alan
didn't
was-
huddle if we wanted to approve or not. I'm just kidding you.
All right, got that business out of the way. So we'll go into some reports from each of our board members in the different areas and what we've been working on over the last year. And for those who will still be in their terms a little longer, what they are looking at coming up in the coming months. So I'll start with membership. As Vice President of Membership, if you were counting during roll call, you notice that we are currently at 46 member schools. So that includes 3 new schools this year who weren't members, at least in the last few years. So that's exciting to have them with us. We still have 8 schools from last year that are yet to renew, so still working on those. So we I keep reaching out to those ones. I did move to a new job from Kentucky to Minnesota this year. So I've been a little slow, admittedly, on reaching out to new schools, but been trying my best with getting those renewals. I've also been working on some of our processes around membership. And one of the things I'm really excited about will be rolling out in the next probably month or so with our website. You'll now have like a parent account and child accounts for your membership, so that you can have separate logins for everyone at your school, everyone part of your organization, so they can all access our resources, and we can kind of keep better track of who is at different schools and have multiple contacts, and just keep more updated with who should be on our email lists and who shouldn't, and who should have access to things, and also help us then know if somebody leaves, who else is still there that we can reach out to more quickly without doing as much additional research when it's time for a renewal and there's been some turnover in that leadership there. You'll hear a little more from me later because I am running to be reelected as a position, but at the moment, does anybody have any questions on the membership area for me? All right, seeing none, I'm going to pass it on to our communications director, Eric Henry, and board members. The order is in the agenda, so you can just keep passing it on to the next person listed there.
Thanks, Sam. This is my first year as communications director, and I think my main focus was just trying to keep up the kind of steady communications that Sam had really established before. And I just wanted to thank him so much for all his support and instruction and backup and advice this last year. It was really helpful. And also kind of learning my way around the website a little bit. So I don't have any stats on the MailChimp. I didn't, and just in looking through, I think it's been pretty consistent with our open rates. It's been reported on in the past. So mainly email focused. I have done just a little bit with social, and I think that's one area I'd like to do more going forward. Bianca really helped with some of that this year too, as did Destiny. Destiny was great on Instagram. Destiny and Ethan spun up a group me to try to engage more students, and I think we got a little bit of traction, but that remains a problem to solve, or an opportunity to try to get more students actively in some sort of ongoing conversation, or to really continue all, like you hear at the conference, like so many people, and they put it in the survey afterward, like that was a real high point for so many students, was getting to connect with other students and share ideas and best practices. So how do we facilitate that from a communication standpoint going forward, so we can have that kind of discussion all year? So I don't think this is a new attempt, but the group me was a try at solving that. So I think it's pretty straightforward this year. Next year, going forward, my goal is to get ahead of communications a little bit more. I think I was a little slow on some of the pre-promotion around the conference. So that's one of my goals for this next year. That's about it.
Okay, I think I'm up next. And my name is Bianca. I'm the education director. And This year, I've been focusing on programming and figuring out what our next step is as far as like this role and what that looks like on the board. So that's been really exciting and kind of carving out like what this position will really be doing. This is the first year of the position, so that's been exciting. And then looking ahead at next year, looking into increasing like our efforts for new advisors and continuing obviously with our virtual programming and then hopefully doing something in the badging or micro-credentialing space going forward. So that's also exciting to look forward to. So that's pretty much my role. And yeah.
I think I'm next. Yes. So, hi, I'm Jennifer. I am the programming director, and Marlise is the programming director elect who will become the programming director, and she just hopped on. So we are in charge of putting on the conference, and most of you guys were there, I think. So you guys pretty much know what happened. But a few things you may not know for background. This year, we had three significant changes in programming. First was that the board decided to split the annual conference programming and virtual monthly programming into two different committees. So we used to do the monthly programming as well as the conference, but it was becoming like very overwhelming to get both of them done. So the board made the decision to put monthly programming under education, which was the new position that Bianca just talked about. And we are now programming in charge of the conference specifically, which ultimately takes up a big chunk of time. Second, we changed the name officially to the CMBAM Annual Conference. In the past, we had been using conference and convention interchangeably. However, convention doesn't really describe what we're doing anymore. So that was another change. And then finally, we saw the full cycle of the new programming director cycle implemented. So one of the best things I think that we have done is that we have placed the programming director. We have a programming director elect who is the person that will take over the following year. And then the past programming director stays on to kind of help guide the planning process. So you have three people, your training is basically implemented within the process. And I think that has made a huge difference for how we are able to react quickly, plan ahead, and really build on the success of the previous years. So this conference, as you guys know, was at Cal State Fullerton. We had 110 people attend the event representing 24 different schools from across the country. That was a 13.4% increase in attendance from the previous year. This year, the board voted to increase the conference ticket price by $25 for each ticket level. There were 89 paid attendees and 21 tickets were comped for sponsors and board members. The total ticket sales was $20,250. That was a 23.8% increase in ticket revenue from the previous year. The board and committee secured 7 monetary sponsors, totaling $20,500 in sponsorship money. That was a 68.7% increase in sponsorship revenue from the previous year. Additionally, the committee secured 2 in-kind sponsors that covered the cost of those beautiful bags that everyone loved so much that they got at the conference, the lanyards, and also the cost of food for the student mixer, which was Cane's. So while all revenue and attendance metrics were up, so were our expenses, and the 2025 conference concluded at a little bit of a deficit, $1,900. So last year we were profitable by, I think, $1,000, if I remember correctly. This year we weren't totally profitable, but I still think it's a huge success. Other notable conference improvements included a very popular photo op with large lighted CMBAM letters that we fought really hard for, and a new branded CMBAM tablecloth and banner that made us look much more professional. We had really official looking name tags and lanyards. Thank you, Sam. And we recorded all the sessions to post on the members only section of the website post conference, so that if you were there and you were at a session, but you really wanted to attend both sessions or were at the same time, you'll be able to watch that recording and still get the information. So I think I'm very proud of us. I want to say a special thank you to Marlise, who absolutely killed it. And I'm very excited to see what she does next year at UT Austin. Thank you to Catherine for staying on and guiding us and helping us through. And thank you to Michelle Curlin from Cal State Fullerton, who was really essential in helping us through this, and the whole board who really stepped up and did so much behind the scenes that no one will ever really see, but it is absolutely so important. So I think we're really very well set up to have an even more successful annual conference in 2026, which if you haven't heard, it will be at UT Austin. Marlise has already started the planning. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that each year I've been on the board. So this is my second year and this is my concluding my tenure, I guess, officially. I'll still stay on, obviously, and help Marlise. But each year we have up leveled significantly, I think, the previous year. And so that I'm very, very proud of. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right, thanks.
All right, it is my turn for Awards and Recognition Director Report. I'm Rob Staley from Weber State University. So our individual awards were in April via Zoom. This year we had 31 entries across 5 categories, which marks an increase of approximately 35% from the previous year's entries. For the annual CMBAM Convention Awards, we had 29 schools submit entries, which is 4 more schools than last year, representing a 16% increase. In the products division, there was 285 entries, which is an increase of 56 or nearly 25% from last year. The sales and marketing division received 85 entries, which is up 11 from the previous year, which is a 14% increase. The panel of 16 judges came from many different areas, including flight desk, different ad agencies, and freelancers nationwide, evaluating submissions across 43 categories throughout the year. I'm also going to be launching our CMBAM podcast by the end of January. It's going to feature interviews with award-winning schools and individuals, including alumni and advisors. Expect the first episode by the end of January 2026. Individual award entries will open up in March. I'll have a clear date after the new year. And then our annual award submissions will commence in July. Does anyone have any questions for me? No? Cool, bye. Does anyone have any questions for Rhoda? Oh, thank goodness. All right, on to our student members of the board.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ethan Batchelor. I'm one of your student directors. I'm graduating from App State next week, and very, very exciting stuff that we've done over the past year. This is Destiny and I's first year and only year being on the board. It's been great. We have really seen this organization and this board improve so much even over just the past few months as it is. And as someone who this was my, I think, third conference for CMBAM, it's really topped the others out there. It's been great. So we've been pretty busy as well over the past year. We conducted a student survey back in, I think, March or April. And I'm going to go ahead and send those results to y'all. It's also linked in our meeting packet as well. But I'll have Destiny talk about that a little bit more because I think that she knows a little bit more about that. But we've been collaborating a lot with our communications director, with Bianca, as well, and then we helped out programming, at the conference as well. So we would love for whoever takes over to just collaborate more with the board, be more interactive with our members, and really just get the students to interact as much as possible. I didn't realize, hosting a Zoom call with students is it's very difficult trying to get students to engage. But the students that we did engage with at the conference, it was just it's a very good experience for us, I think. Um, so yeah. Any questions? Destiny, did you have anything? Gotcha.
First time Destiny's speechless.
Okay, well, I can go through the survey myself a little bit. So we had about 40 responses, and just like from what I remember at least, um, a lot of people are studying advertising, marketing, business administration. So, we are CMBAM, focused on advertising and whatnot. Most of the students are wanting to pursue full-time employment once they graduate. And we had a pretty, diverse group of people from different schools. So definitely, they're wanting to work more on like the HR side of things and, how to be better leaders and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so there's that for you. But yeah, so we're hoping to just see more of that programming and hopefully, ha have another survey and get to know what the next cohort of students will need from CMBAM in the future. So, but very, very good stuff.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Fuck yeah. Oh, sorry. So yeah, so the survey looked good. We also, I don't know if Ethan mentioned it, student consulting. So basically we had a link for people to meet with us, which was really nice that people could talk with us one-on-one. So I definitely recommend that. And I met every other week. Commenting and like trying to somehow it was crazy when I saw it here because I already know that. Yeah, I think we helped a lot with like decisions, like guiding which was kind of good.
Destiny, I think if you take your headphones off, we could hear you better.
Okay, like this?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so we did student consulting, and then we also keeping the social medias like the LinkedIn and the Instagram, I know helps. I got a lot of followers. We made it to over 300 over the conference, so I recommend keeping that going. And then everyone's on LinkedIn, so like I do all the reposts and all the comments and the likes, so like also encourage that engagement too. Except my LinkedIn was hacked, which is crazy, but it didn't affect me. Anyways, and then yeah, student consulting because a lot of people met with us. And then a couple of times I did like networking connections. So just like knowing people. I appreciate the board meetings because kind of like I said, like when I'm able to see student media outside of the CMBAM conference, that's really cool. So just yeah, I think that's all I got. Sorry, my cafe.
Okay, so that's all she's got. I'm Chris. I'm the Secretary Treasurer of CMBAM for Michigan State University. My report will be very short. We have money in our account. We don't have that many transactions each and every month, or except for the time when we have our conference. And we're financially stable and sound. We run a well efficient oiled machine here. So there you go.
Thanks, Chris. One last chance for questions of any of our current board members before we move on to the candidate forum portion.
Did Marlise get to go? Did Marlise get to go? Was that a part of the Jennifer production?
Yeah, Jennifer pretty much covered everything, but I am excited about next year, us hosting it over at the University of Texas and having everyone in Texas in Austin. So it should be fun. But yeah, so I am looking forward to working with Jennifer again, using her as well. And then the new board member elect.
All right, so if nobody has any questions for any of the board members, we'll go on to the candidate forum portion of our meeting for the open positions we have coming up in our elections here. And our past president, Alan Vaughn, is going to moderate the forum for us.
Hey, thanks, Sam. I'm Alan Vaughn. I'm the general manager of the Daily Nebraskan and the past president. Happy to join everyone here today and hear about our some of our future board members. So usually, how we do this is we give each candidate about 2 to 3 minutes to just tell a little bit about themselves. If you didn't see the email that had some more of that information, I'll drop it in the chat also. So you can see their wonderful pictures and read what they wrote as we politely ask them to tell us a little bit about themselves, but give them about 2 to 3 minutes to start. And so first spot is Vice President of Membership, and it appears that Sam Oldenburg is running unopposed. So we're going to see how he does here. So Sam, you're on the clock. You got about 2 to 3 minutes.
All right, thank you, Alan. Yeah, so I've been in this position for 1 year now. Previously, I was communications director on the board. And then when Julie was elected to president at the last year's elections, there was still 1 year left in her term as vice president. She appointed me to fill that for this year. So in being in those two different positions now and transition between them, I've really been able to see like what things are working well for the organization and where we kind of have like some friction points in some of our processes when it comes to membership and processing different things. So I've been trying, especially to work on cleaning up some of that, like I talked about in my report with how we're running some of the accounts on the website, and kind of looking at how we can make things smoother on the payment and on the renewal processes and kind of all of that stuff. So if reelected, or I guess I wasn't elected the first time I was appointed, but so if elected to the position for a term of 2 years, I'll keep working on that a little bit more, kind of have our processes a little bit smoother, come up with some good how-to guides that will help kind of hand those processes off to whoever the predecessor is. No, successor, not predecessor, sorry. As well as then make it possible to kind of get a membership committee going again with advisors and students from other schools who want to help with membership outreach. So those how-to guides will be helpful with all of that. So I hope by middle of next year to get that committee going so we can focus a little bit more on not just renewing our current members, but doing more outreach to share things with the wider college media network of what we are doing. I think as you've heard from all of our board members, CMBAM's moving in good directions and we're offering more and more to our members. So we've got a lot to promote to potential new members, to tell them about the benefits that they can get. So my goal would be to kind of streamline our processes and then use that towards spending our time on increasing membership.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Any questions for Sam? This is the time to really get after him if you guys want to. I will say that it's a tough position to do, but it's I feel like we have done some things. I think Sam's taken some good steps, and Sarah and Julie before is just trying to, like they said, maintain the momentum, and then be like, hey, people who used to be members, come on back. And then I think we made some great strides with trying to get some new people to come to the conference. That's why I was telling some of my friends, was just like, hey, had some East Coast schools who didn't come, but we had a lot more West Coast schools that were able to be there. So how do we put them all in a pot? Because as Sam had mentioned, 46 members or something that are along those lines. I feel like it's like 46, and then there's a group of 25 or 30 who are just like, oh yeah, like we're kind of in the gray area of all of that. So anyway, that's how I always kind of feel about our membership. What's a fun fact about you?
Yeah,
Destiny
question
from
back.
Minnesota wants to know.
A fun fact would be that while I was in high school, my parents said I needed to get a job and I didn't want to, do a real job. So I made up my own and worked as a self-employed balloon artist under the name Zippy the Clown, twisting balloons at birthday parties, fairs, festivals, company picnics, nursing homes where the residents were a little brutal for entertainers. But so that's really where I got my start in entrepreneurship.
Should we add that to next year's conference? that you can go around to the tables and do balloons.
I believe she meant to say we'll be adding that to the conference moving forward.
You're hired.
Oh my gosh.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
I have a membership question.
Okay.
How in this position, how would you utilize colleges in different states that have a little bit more of a communication access to those other schools?
Yeah, I think that's something that I would see as being part of, like I said, kind of getting the committee going again. So we can kind of identify what, like get a little bit broader pool of people working on that to identify which states have networks and associations that are a little bit stronger and have that kind of communication. And then seeing what member schools we have in that area that can help with that outreach, because I think it comes, at least on that level, when there are state associations, it comes best when it's from someone else in your state or at least close by who you might already know and have a relationship with. So I want to kind of figure out best how we streamline those processes to keep track of membership. And then as we get a committee going, come up with some talking points and materials and stuff that are easy to share with schools about what we have going on. Anything else?
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Sam. Oh, things are so hard. Our next position is member recognition and awards director, and I would like to welcome Robert Steedley from Weber State University.
Someone knocked on my door like as soon as you introduced me, give me one.
What? Very likely. Let's all tell our favorite stories about Rob right now.
You did skip over another position before you got to Rob, so we could
Well,
go to
this is true.
programming director. Well,
Oh, here he comes. He's back.
Yeah, I didn't turn my sound up. I could hear you guys. Hi, I'm Rob. I'm the business manager at Weber State University. I kind of fell into this position as in the board. I ran 2 years ago. I lost the election, and then the person that was elected had some things come up, and they were unable to fulfill the commitments. And I kind of got thrown in, I think, a month before the individual awards. So I've learned on the go. The reason why I joined the board was I went to the conference in Minnesota in 2023, made a lot of connections. With people I didn't know were on the board. The first person I met was Julie Slater, and I had a great interaction with her. And everyone was so warm and welcoming. I knew that I needed to be a part of this. I'm big on recognition. I had a boss years ago when I worked on campus here at Weber State. He asked me, how do you like to be rewarded? Some people want, public recognition. Some people want one-on-one, and you see the difference that recognition makes. So that was a big thing for me. I love student media. Working at the newspaper or the Signpost here at Weber State, I see the impact, the work that these students do affects the campus and the community. So knowing that I can play a small role in that, and knowing that these students across the country are not only working hard for their school and for their program, but also they love winning. And I love seeing the competition and the spirit of competition, and I would like to continue to do so. So that's it. Any questions?
Hey, that's my job. Any questions for Rob?
Not all at once. Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to react. Do you have any plans or thoughts on adding some additional categories to the awards or trimming down categories for the awards? I know some of my students were a little bit sad because we have like a web team and we also have like a creative team and some more niche, and the majority of awards are like usually advertising and sales focused.
Yes.
I second that because we're completely online, and so we don't qualify for like so many print stuff. I know that's an us problem, but just something I noticed.
That is something that I thought about, especially this year, and just seeing how a lot of different programs do only have more of an online presence and online options, and so they don't qualify for those things. I think I will add some of those things and kind of cut back. I plan on starting looking through those at the beginning of the year and moving forward from there, and we'll have a um, new setup this incoming year for the CMBAM annual CMBAM Awards for sure. Thank you.
I saw we did a member spotlight years ago. Have you thought about bringing that back, or would that be something that maybe under communications instead, or maybe it's an and thing?
I know it's something I want to do. I want to work with Eric and getting that information out and being more proactive and getting those types of communications out on a more regular basis. I really think that um, we do need to spotlight the hard work that these programs are doing, whether they're through the awards or just stuff they're doing. Um, like I said, I know that people generally they may like to stay under the radar, but they also like to know that what they're doing matters. So, yeah. And that'll be part of my podcast as well. So it'll not just be like award winners. Like I want to talk to alumni who have been a part of CMBAM, former student board members. I've made friends with a lot of the student board members I'm still in contact with, and just seeing how CMBAM has helped them in their post college careers, and just getting that feedback and knowing like, oh wow, I could do that too.
Sounds great.
Anything else for Rob? Great. All right. Thanks, Rob. Okay, our next position up is Programming Director-elect, and I would like to turn the floor over to Abby Barefoot from NC State University.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. I will start by saying that my family gifted me for Thanksgiving sickness, so you're gonna have to bear with me. If you need me to repeat anything, please let me know. Um, but my introduction to SimBAM was actually as a student. So I am a student media alum, and I actually had the opportunity to go to Minneapolis as a student, and then I've now been back to SimBAM twice as an advisor, and the amount of knowledge and community that I've gained is just has been insane. And I don't think that we could do it without SimBAM. I joined as a professional staff member with a 100% new staff. So that was a learning opportunity for everybody involved. And I definitely relied on the listserv, and then getting to jump right into the conference. So I am just hoping to continue that on for everyone else.
Excellent. Thank you, Abby. Any questions?
It's been the trend. We tend to go to the schools or schools around the areas that our program director team have been a part of. Our previous one was Catherine Ross, and we got to go to UPenn. And then this year we're in California, and then next year we're going to Texas. So I'm wondering if you can let me know where the best place to stay and eat in North Carolina when we go there next year, because my wife has already bought plane tickets for Texas. I wish I was kidding.
Love it.
Yeah. Also, what's something that you would like to see implemented as a former student and as an advisor? What would you like to bring? What will you bring to as a program director elect to help advance and improve our conferences in the future?
Yeah, well, to answer your first question, I know I'm biased, but I feel like North Carolina is great. We have a lot of amazing schools that are actually on this call today. We also have a couple different airports. I think that's one of the most important pieces of that is the convenience from travel and transportation. It's a big one. So RDU, which is right near NC State, actually, it's about 15 minutes away. That's always an option. And then also Charlotte, the Charlotte International Airport. So that's another option. So we have a couple close schools that I think would be amazing choices. Um, as far as that second question, I think that I would continue with what the past programming directors have done and really survey both students and staff members to see what they're looking to see, because I know what I would like to see at the conference, but that may not be reflective of what everyone else wants. So to really get a feel for what everyone is hoping to gain from that. I am also very type A, very much a planner. So making sure that everyone has too much information, in the sense of continuing on with the pamphlet that Jennifer created with the map and some different food locations to have, and how do you get into the building and which exits or entrances can you use? So different resources like that so that people aren't confused or questioning how they're supposed to navigate that experience because it can be stressful.
Abby, from your perspective, what is something you would like to see improved upon at the conference?
Mm. Well, I have to say that every year that I've gone, it's just gotten better and better. I mean, I was blown away this past year. I was like, oh my gosh, from the branded bags to all of the different sessions. I really, yes, I really loved everything. Um, that's a hard question. But I think I'd love to see some more workshopping opportunities. I feel like that the collaboration between schools is here and we continue to do that, but sometimes it is helpful to do that in person. I know that we did a version of that with roundtables and some different like panel discussions. So a version of that I think would be really helpful because that's one of our strengths is the knowledge that each of us bring. So really leveraging that for some unique sessions for sure.
Thank you. And do you have any ideas on how we could increase conference attendance?
Yeah. Um, that one is a hard question and one I would definitely rely on some past programming directors' knowledge for. But I think it also has to do with pricing and convenience of travel. Especially now, I've heard from a lot of schools that they either don't have the budget for it or can't take the time out of their day to spend a whole day traveling and coming back. So that could be a potential hindrance, although I obviously can't speak to it in depth because I haven't looked into it. I'm very much a numbers type of person, so that'd be something that I'd be interested in looking into for sure.
Excellent. Um, all right. Anything last chance for questions for Abby? Okay. Okay, Abby, you're off the hook. You're off the hook. Thank you very much. Thanks for your
Thanks.
time. Okay, now we are going to move to our student director candidates. We have two open positions, and we have a couple of them in attendance today. Some of them, the other ones might have class. Pfft, whatever. Anyway, or maybe you're skipping class to be here. I'm not going to tell anybody. But first up is Rob. Could you move out of the way and let James Gordon from Weber State have the floor, please?
Hi, all. My name is James. I am the managing editor at the Signpost, a student paper here. I will like to start by just saying I'm by no means an expert in the business side of student media. I am a journalist. I'm like I said, I'm the managing editor. That's what I'm studying. That's what I'd like to do. This was actually my first conference at in Fullerton, and it was a good chance for me to see more of the perspective side of business and student media. But like I said, my expertise is the editorial side, and um, we've taken home some things from the conference, and there are some things that we're wanting to implement in our own newsroom. But something that I think I would be able to bring is, bridging the gap between the content and the business side of that. And like I said, I have experience in making the paper, the layout of the paper. I make the newsletter twice a week, and I would like to just provide my perspective in any way I could, and emulate whatever like the effort that we saw Ethan and Destiny did this last conference.
Great, thank you. Any questions?
Is there any issues at your? Oh,
So I think Alan, with this one where there were multiple candidates, we were going to have them all introduce each other and then
We'll do it
at the end.
Excellent. Just kidding. Hold that, Jennifer. Don't forget your question. Thank you, Rob, for moving out of the way. All right. There he is, right there. Okay. Next up, from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, is Itziar Carrasco Gomez. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone, so nice to meet you. I went to your conference a little while ago, and I just want to say thank you for all your hard work. It definitely paid off, and it was so fun attending that. So, a little bit about me. I started working in student media and journalism 4 years ago as a sophomore in high school. I started out as a staff writer, eventually became an editor for our opinion editorial, leading up to a lot of work with my other editors in making magazines, all of the layout. So I've kind of just had a good perspective in everything, kind of just editorial and when it has to do with like print and everything. And then I found myself in freshman year in front of Bianca Frischello doing a little interview for to become an accounts executive. So that's what I'm doing now. And I really love the marketing side of it. I think it was really fun to experience that. And, thanks to that, I was able to attend the conference. I think what I would like to bring to the table is I think Destiny and Ethan have done a really good job solidifying CMBAM on social media and across different platforms and really solidifying the brand identity of CMBAM and like what we do here. But I would like to take it a step further and continue their work in what they do for students by really creating posts and managing channels across so that we can actually talk more directly to students or make more posts that are specific to student needs so that we actually become a platform where students can reach out and ask the questions that they need to ask and get involved. And I just think that that would be a really great addition. I think, again, Ethan and Destiny have done such a great job solidifying, and I think it's really just time to cement it by making sure we are giving the students the opportunities to get involved. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, Sam, we have a video from Serene Alsalti from North Carolina State. And we're going to play that video whenever Sam has it ready to go.
Hi everyone, my name is Serena Salty. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for the actual meeting. Unfortunately, I'll be taking a final exam, so wish me luck. But I'm so excited to be running for the student director position. Currently, I'm a junior at NC State University studying business administration with a marketing concentration. I also am in my second year at NC State Student Media. I work as both a media consultant and the marketing analytics lead. And over the past 2 years, I've been so grateful for all of the skills and the mentorship and the community that I've found within student media, not just within NC State's organizations, but through other resources like CMBAM. And attending this past CMBAM, it was my first CMBAM, and it was honestly one of the best experiences I've had within student media. It was so amazing to get to meet people from across the country and share ideas and just talk openly about all the successes and challenges that we were facing throughout the year. It was really motivating to be there, and it made me realize that I want to have a more active role in helping students feel connected to CMBAM. So when I think about the future of CMBAM, I see so much potential in building on the momentum that was created this year and in previous years. So if elected, my biggest goal is to continue expanding that outreach to students, not just during the yearly conference, but throughout the year. And so, creating regular communication touch points and encouraging interaction with local student media groups and making sure that overall students are aware of all the resources that CMBAM has to offer. I also want to help create more opportunities for professional development and collaboration with students. So, whether that's sessions on sales and marketing and other industry skills, or just creating spaces where students can talk through the challenges that they're facing, like burnout or time management or whatever it is. I want CMBAM to remain a space where students can feel supported and find guidance throughout the year. Another area I'm really excited about is creating more student-focused digital content. Things like quick guides and campaign tips and strategy breakdowns and other resources where students can kind of refer back to it throughout the year. It was really great to see the social media and how active it was this year as well. So I think I'd love to keep that energy going throughout the year. And just creating content that's engaging and interactive and obviously conveys CMBAM's value, but also is just fun and interactive. So many other student media groups are on social media now, so I think it's such a great way to connect with them. Overall, I'm just really excited to contribute new ideas and support the board wherever it's helpful. So yeah, thank you all for your time. I know I couldn't be there during the actual meeting, but if anyone has any questions or just wants to chat, please feel free to connect. I'd love to chat with you guys. And yeah, I hope I have the opportunity to serve as the new student director. Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Okay, and then hopefully Tiffany will send us a video also, since she was unable to make it from West Virginia. Okay, now, so we still want to take some questions here for our candidates who are in attendance. So Jennifer, Jennifer's gone. Hold on. Who else anyone has a question? Go ahead, Marlies.
I have a question. I was just curious, just knowing, I know Ethan mentioned the challenge of getting students involved. Do y'all have any ideas of ways that y'all would try to get more students involved?
Yeah, personally, I think that I think they did a great effort with like the group me, and I think there's just so many different channels to explore with that. I think really it's just going to be about being the first to reach out, and making sure that students have the space, whether it's like maybe like a little newsletter to like send them personally that they can sign up for, or I think they also mentioned it earlier. They did a great job with like giving links to places where they can meet, and like I think it's just about kind of putting in small ways that they can reach out and like making sure that people are aware of those, and making sure that we are reaching out at maybe like key times, such as like when it gets really busy at the end of the semester, or when they get really close to like a big campaign or something of the sort that they might have going on. But yeah.
Great.
James? Yeah, I also think that it's good. It's definitely a challenge to ask students to be more involved in something that's not directly their schoolwork. But I think it's easier when you make it more applicable to what, to them. Student media. I know this conference, it's mainly surrounded the business side of student media, but if you also find ways to make it more applicable to them, their career, and things, more applicable to what they're wanting to do, that they're more willing to put in the time and reach out and be more willing to ask for advice and things like that. So sorry. That's what I would say to that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Ethan.
So I see advertising as basically a way of storytelling, if you will. Maybe not so much in an editorial perspective, if you will, but it is something where you do have to kind of communicate and work with both sides of the newspaper or media organization. I just kind of want to hear like how y'all have worked with people, different backgrounds, and whether it's at your newspaper or maybe in some classes, like what are some ideas that y'all could take from that also and bring to CMBAM? Anything specific?
I can take this one. Well, specifically for our newspaper, my experience is we're a smaller newspaper than most newspapers across the country, and but we still accept not just people involved in journalism. We accept all majors, and so naturally, our newspaper isn't just people who like to write. We have all aspects of life, all different types of expertise that come and join. the downside of being a smaller newspaper is we lose a business side of our paper as well. And so that's something I've really learned through the CMBAM conference is that perspective. I mainly relied on Rob actually to help us with that. So just the people around me already have been from all aspects of life, all different types of expertises. And I think it'd just be more emulating similar to our newsroom to a broader scale, but more specific to how to make a newsroom function, how to make student media function. And that's what I'd say to that.
Yeah. So personally, I've been both the stressed out writer trying to make the deadline and also the stressed out person trying to meet the client one-on-one. So it's been really great to see kind of all the parts of it and actually work in the position. It's just been fun to see how everything kind of comes together, really just for the organization. And I would just really like to kind of take both sides of that, kind of like Robert, or sorry, the other candidate mentioned, just really take both sides of that because I think that while the two roles are so different, I do think that they have a lot of similarities in the way that students, at the end of the day, they're students and they're balancing a lot, and it's hard to have those first kind of professional steps towards journalism, whether you're in marketing or, actually writing and on the ground and reporting. And I think it'll just be fun to talk to people and like reach out to people who maybe do the editorial or do print, do the website. It's always fun to reach out. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Okay, any other questions? They're doing great. Any questions? Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Sam, I'll throw it back to you. I think that concludes our candidate forum. I guess you want me to talk about the election schedule? Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, if you have it pulled up.
I do. So the election. So we obviously we're doing the candidate forum, and we're going to send this video out to the members, and then voting opens sometime later today.
It is open now.
It's open now. Wow.
So
That's
it's in the email that went out yesterday about this meeting, but just dropped it in the chat as well.
Great.
You do, when you click on the link to go to the actual voting page, you have to be logged in with your current CMBAM membership to be able to vote, and it's one vote per member school. So get together with any involved parties at your school and decide who y'all are casting your vote for, and then who will be the one to log in and do that.
Okay. And then the voting closes on the 5th, which is Friday. And then we'll tally the votes, and then the terms begin on January 1st. Correct?
Yes, candidates should find out, well, everyone should find out next week who the winners are.
Okay.
What time is voting in?
Just the end of the day, Friday.
Okay.
We'll say midnight Pacific time, I guess.
Jessica, do you have a question?
No, there's a shelf up there I needed something off of.
Please do not wait until midnight Pacific to vote, but you have that much time. How's that? Okay.
All right, I think we need a motion to adjourn.
Whole motion.
Seconded.
All right, raise your hand if you're ready to go. All right, thank you all for being on here. Like I said, we'll share out the recording soon, so be watching for that if you need to share that with anyone else at your organization. Yeah, thank you all for taking time to be here, and hope the rest of the semester goes smoothly for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.